Right, we return, of course, with the impact of the crime report that was unveiled by the Statistician-General Risenga Maluleke. Joining us to share further details about the Victims of Crime report. Statistician-General, very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. I mean, you have spoken about the most worrying insights when it comes to household crime. I mean, you speak about housebreaking continuing to be the most common crime impacting South African households. What is driving this spike?
Paul, let us put first the context of crime statistics that we make available as Stats SA, in that it's not in competition with the work of South African police services, but it complements the work that and the reports that they are giving in a manner that we do capture from households crimes that may not necessarily have been reported with the police. So the police only report on administrative data that is reported with them. And indeed, that statistics that they are releasing is official as designated by the Statistician-General and delegated to them. So having said so, let us look at one crime. We look at crime at household level and at individual level, because it does happen that individuals may not necessarily be in the household when they experience crime. So at household level, we are seeing housebreaking increasing. One, in the last 5 years, it has been increasing. We are seeing in the 5-year period 2.6 million incidents of crime, whereas in the last 1 year, we are seeing 1.5 million incidents of crime, having affected about 1.1 million persons. Housebreaking is different from home robbery, in that housebreaking is a burglary that occurs when there's nobody at home. So the one thing that would explain the increase is that because criminals would potentially have established that there's nobody at the household, that is why we are seeing the increase. Whereas the other crimes, look at home robbery, where criminals accost people in their households, those ones are showing a decrease.
The other perspective is that you report a drop in murders, but on the other end, assaults, home robberies remain high. What does that tell us? Is South Africa really getting safer, or are the crimes just shifting?
Well, two things that we need to look at. One is that crimes will take a particular shape at any given point, and that, I guess, is a space for analysts and researchers to look at. Ours is just to report what members of the public are saying. But let us look at particularly assault, which is not at household level. It is more at individual level. One of the things that we are seeing is that when you compare assault with theft of personal property, for example, where someone is walking in the street and have their cell phone, their wallet, or their money or watches being taken away from them, either at the threat of a weapon, we are seeing that theft of personal property is increasing than assault. But when you go deeper and nuance this data, we see that assault, for example, 48% of persons or people indicated that 48.6 to be exact, indicated that the perpetrators of crime are someone known to them, either an intimate, a person that is intimate to them, or a spouse, a relative, or an acquaintance. And when you unpack it further, the weight is heavy on women, where 47.3 women indicated that assault happened, the perpetrator happened to have been a spouse or an intimate partner. Whereas for men, we found that when there was assault, it was largely due to an unknown person. So you can see that there are issues of culture that needs to shift and social norms that need to shift, because police may rely on reported cases, but they are not going to supervise incidents inside households until they are reported to them.
When you talk about the importance of such a shift, there's often a very big gap between police stats and community experience. What explains that, and whose data should policymakers trust more? Because, I mean, just before you and I spoke, we had chairperson of the Cape Crime Crisis Coalition, Dr. McMaster, talking to me about how people are disheartened. They're saying that what's the point? What is the point of reporting a crime when nothing will happen? No resolution, no people will get arrested. Police are not acting.
We need to separate the whole issue of policing in the form of visible policing and other programs that the police are putting in place to the issue of statistics that are being churned out by the police and indeed also by Statistician-General Risenga, in that one, in terms of the statistics that the police are making available, they can only make available statistics of crime that has been reported to them. So let me give you an example. In the past 12 months, we have seen that there were 1.5 million incidents of housebreaking. Out of those, only 43% were reported to the police. So the police will never know until crimes are reported to them. Whereas if you look at cases of murder, for example, there were far less. We had 1.5 million incidents of housebreaking reported at 43%. But households indicated that murder that they experienced in households was 14,000. But all of them were reported to the police, because there are crimes that are shocking.
Okay, we seem to have lost the Statistician-General Risenga Maluleke there, who was giving us some details on the victims of crime reports, really just helping us make sense of some of these numbers that were unveiled today.